Gentlelady is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm rising today not only as a member of this Congress, but as a mother and a grandmother. Mr. Speaker, there are some subjects that are so difficult to talk about, but it is our responsibility to do so. Today we shine a light on something very terrible: sexual violence used as a weapon of law. And today our usually divided House, with the support of our Speaker and the Democratic leaders and my friend Kathy Manning, Mario Diaz-Balart, and Jen Kiggins, are presenting with 200, let me repeat that, 200 co-sponsors, both sides of the aisle, from all philosophical bents. A bipartisan resolution condemning sexual violence as a weapon of war and Hamas's despicable acts of rape and sexual violence in its war against Israel. And I want to do a special shout out to my good friend from Florida, Mario Diaz-Balart, for his exceptional leadership, standing up for Israel and for the girls and women of this world. Mr. Speaker, today we mark 131 days since October 7th, when Hamas terrorists attacked Israel, mercifully killed 1,200 people, tortured and maimed thousands of others, taking 240 hostages. War is never nice, but some actions in war are so awful and so devoid of humanity, they are considered crimes. Hamas terrorist actions on October 7th and continuing are almost too difficult to speak about. Raping, mutilating, burning, and assaulting victims to inflict physical and psychological pain, unleashing trauma that continues to plague a grieving Israel. This is what Roz Cohn, a survivor who witnessed Hamas' brutal rampage, remembers. He said 5 men came out of a van. They captured a woman, ripping off her clothes as they formed a circle around her. One raped her and killed her with a knife. Then he raped her again. He said, "I still remember her voice, screams without words," while Hamas just laughed. Roz's story is just one account of the widespread, unimaginable crimes Hamas committed. A well-known Israeli activist and actress, Noah Tisby, put it this way: these rapes were not spontaneous. They were planned. They were calculated. In fact, they were a priority. In their interrogations, captured Hamas terrorists calmly shared their orders to soil the women. They gang raped women to death. They shot them in the head while they were raping them. They stabbed them and shot them while raping them. They raped them next to bodies of those who had already been slaughtered. They sliced off their breasts. First responders found bodies with nails driven inside girls' vaginas. Mr. Speaker, with colleagues, I recently met with the parents of 2 young women kidnapped by Hamas, 19 and 20-year-old, both musicians, along 20 other young women. They are feared to be held still captive underground in Gaza, where air and food are scarce and abuse is abundant. They've been there 131 days. It's excruciating to imagine the horrors they're experiencing each day and the emotional torture of their families. And we must bring these hostages home now. Shockingly and alarmingly, Hamas' brutal violence has been met with a shrug from many corners in the world. Some even deny it. Sexual violence as a weapon of war has been used throughout history and around the world to terrorize and traumatize victims. But that doesn't make it okay. It must never be normalized. Our resolution makes it clear: sexual violence is a crime against humanity. Our resolution condemns all rape and sexual violence as a weapon of war, including those acts committed by Hamas. It calls on all nations to criminalize rape and sexual assault. It calls on all international bodies to condemn Hamas' barbaric actions. It reaffirms our support for an independent investigation of rape and sexual violence committed by Hamas, and reaffirms our commitment to supporting survivors of rape, and sexual violence. I urge all our members to join us in supporting this important amendment. It is a statement of humanity, and I yield back.